The Westwood entrances. We all know them, but we don't necessarily love them. Some are better than others. So in this video, me and my collaborator Reagan Babbitt are going to be looking around the school and ranking all the entrances from worst to best, with a few honorable mentions in there. We're not going to be including entrances like the band hall entrance, and ones that we don't use like the ones on the side of the school that lead mostly into the gym area. So without much further ado, let's get into it.
Well, this is our first entrance, because it's the worst one. It's not even an entrance anymore. It's just for construction, and you know, obviously I would count it, but even when we used it, it was more of an exit, as you can see, but like, you know, it's at the bottom of the list for a reason. Like, look at this.
Whoa! Now this is one wacky entrance. I mean, behind these doors, it's basically just a white void. Now, I know this is for construction, but even if this could actually be used, it would be pretty low on the list, mostly because it's kind of pointless. I mean, this really doesn't lead out anywhere. However, it's still a novelty, so it's slightly better than the other one that we listed.
Welcome to another honorable mention. This entrance looks nice, but aside from that, I mean, again, it's just one of those like emergency exit only exits. So we can't even call it an entrance, but that's okay because even if it was, I don't think it would rank that high enough.
No. So this is the G entrance. G for garbage, because this might be the worst entrance in the whole school. I mean, first of all, it's all blocked by construction and stuff, and I've only ever used it when I'm leaving theater class, but there's already an exit near theater class, and this just leads out into the bright, hot sun. There's no shade whatsoever. It's just a horrible entrance overall. Would not recommend, and it's filled with chairs on either side. Just terrible. An embarrassment to the school, really.
Now we have the D entrance. Definitely one of the worst in the school. I've never once used it. And really, the C entrance isn't much better. I guess it's slightly better because there's a better view, I guess, and C is a cooler letter than D.
Now this is one wacky entrance. I mean, you'd think with this being at the very front of the school that it would be the main entrance, but it's actually not. It's just a mysterious entrance that leads into the gym. There's some bathrooms over there. One of the strangest for sure, and it honestly doesn't rank too high on the list. Alright, so admittedly, we're pretty biased against the gym entrance. As you can tell by our physique, we're not really athletic heads. But you gotta give it respect. It's pretty cool. You got the high up windows, the high ceilings, then the windows up there, and the lights and stuff. Plus you can clean your hands. You used to do that. Well, never mind. This kind of makes it go down a peg. You can't even wash your hands over here, so. But, you know, this is a decent entrance. It's never going to be the best, but it's not going to be the worst either. And admittedly, like I said before, we are kind of biased against it because we don't use it very often.
We're also biased against it because of how long it took to film.
And then there's the B entrance. Definitely one of the less used ones, but it's still kind of cool. We debated putting this in honorable mentions because it's technically a student exit only, but we decided to put it here instead.
Alright, so we've got an interview this time. What do you think of this student exit that would be an entrance?
So, I really like the student exit just because not only does it look very pleasing, I mean, you have rails up there so you can see people about their classes. There's a nice descent down, so there's an interesting build and tension. And there's an interesting window into the offices so you can see the inner workings before you actually enter it. But also, I just have the general sense of nostalgia for it because usually back in the day, I would exit from this classroom, this hallway, and then I would exit from here so I can go to other classes and, you know, go to the parking lot. And it definitely holds really a nostalgic feeling for me. And, you know, the way that the sun lights down from the windows and just shines below while you're walking up the steps, it feels like every time you exit the school, it's impactful. Something's changing.
Man, this entrance just makes me sad. Because first of all, it's not even an entrance anymore. This was the very first entrance that I ever used when I went to school, and it's the entrance I exit out of every day to get to the bus line. But now, it's blocked off by these weird tables and this giant banner and wood. It just makes me so depressed that I'll never get to exit this or entrance this ever again. And it was one of the best too. It this had still been up and running, it might have been top tier. I mean, just look at these big windows, you got a nice view of this weird lawn. It's just a great entrance overall, or should I say, was. This is one wacky entrance. I mean, if you stand in the hallway down there, your voice sounds robotic. It's near the language hall, which is kind of strange. And it's also one of the brightest ones. Look at all those windows up there. And then of course on the steps, you have the iconic black hole. Nobody knows where it leads, but it's iconic nonetheless. One of the weirder ones, but also you gotta respect it.
Welcome to what may have very well been your first entrance in Westwood, not mine, I'm sorry. This entrance is iconic, and it's honestly pretty good, considering that it just kind of leads all the way down. And I have many fond memories of this entrance, most namely, like, this is the entrance I used for in homecoming. You know, I mean, how could I forget that? Moreover, I have nothing else to say about. Welcome to the bus entrance. It's not great. Look at this mess. Like, come on. Come on, guys. But in all fairness, the entrance isn't that bad. I mean, yeah, the bus entrance, it's a mess. But I use it a lot for lunch, more as an exit, but yeah, we favor this one here at
Westwood Horizon.
what's our on Friendcast Studios.
Westwood Horizon.
Yeah.
Now this is how you make an entrance. You got all the extra stuff, the beautiful mosaic, the pictures on the wall, the multiple exit signs, there's crumbs. Yeah, and you got a seating area. You got the loud air conditioner that decided to start, air conditioning right when we started filming.
As usual.
Yeah, you got the beautiful little painting over there. This is the top tier entrance. Maybe not the best because of one thing. You have to walk through that office just to enter through the building. So really it's kind of like a overcomplicated entrance.
Yeah, imagine how grandiose it would be walking through those doors.
Yeah.
Instead you gotta go around. You can exit through those doors, which is that's not as good. But like walking through, just imagine, you can't do that. So we're gonna have to take some points off for that, which is unfortunate because this is a good entrance. Otherwise, it's huge. And how could you not like a giant entrance with 3 doors?
The classic. The classic.
Welcome to what I consider, or both of us consider, to be the best, the top of the line Westwood entrance. It's the band hall entrance. That isn't the band hall. The band hall entrance we're not gonna rank because, we're on band, so we don't really use it. But this entrance we do use, and it's very near and dear to our hearts. Because let me tell you, especially in these troubling times where we need to get like a car ride to school, let me tell you who's always entering from here. It's me. It's all of us. We're all coming into here, going into the cafeteria, as you do, and just having a blast before the class starts. It's just such a good entrance.
It's always open, which is a great thing. And so you can always enter there. It's like the old standby, the old reliable. You know you're in good hands when you're walking through this entrance. Plus it's right next to the bathrooms, which is amazing because the moment you enter school, if you gotta pee, you can just pee, You don't have to walk somewhere far away. Used to, you could get your drinks filled up here, not really anymore. And it leads right into the cafeteria, which is where we always meet before school. Ultimately, this is the best entrance of all time. There's really no topping it. Wow, what a wacky and wild ride we just had. Looking at all those entrances makes me almost nostalgic for the past times I had in those entrances and the future of what might occur in those entrances in the coming years. Thanks for watching our video, and I'll see you next time.